Hi boys and girls, welcome to your first online maths lesson video. For the next few weeks we are going to be learning about time. Time is the name we give to the unit of measurement which helps us to structure our lives and our daily routines. This week we are focusing on the biggest units of time measurement, and next week we will be starting the clock. The biggest units of time marks the passing of years. So if 100 years of time have passed, do you know what that's called? 100 years is called a century. Well done. And then if 10 years of time have passed, do you know what that's called? Well done. 10 years of time is called a decade. Then each year is broken down further. So firstly, it's broken into seasons. Do you know how many seasons there are in a year? Well done. 4. Each season brings with it different types of weather. So if we had nothing else to tell us otherwise, we could probably guess the time of year it is by the weather outside. Although in Ireland, that's not always the case. So can you name the 4 seasons? Easy. Spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Then these seasons are broken into months. Do you know how many months there are in a year? Well done. 12. Let's say them together. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. Well done. Now, do you know what months link with the different seasons? There are 3 months in every season. So spring is during the months of February, March, and April. Well done. And spring is when there is new life, plants growing and lambs in the fields, and the weather is starting to brighten after the cold winter. And then comes summer. Now summer is during the months of May, June, and July. Well done. And summer is when the weather should be warmer, and we usually go on our holidays. Then comes autumn. Autumn is during the months of August, September, and October. Good. And this season is also known as the fall, because it's when the weather gets much cooler again and the leaves begin to fall from the trees around us. And finally, we have winter. And winter is during the months of November, December, and January. So we're in the winter at the moment. Months are then broken into weeks, which we measure on a calendar. And there's approximately 4 weeks in every month. Now, do you know how many weeks there are in a year? Yes, 52. 52 weeks in a year. And then weeks are broken into, that's right, days. How many days in a week? Well, that's very easy. 7. Let's name the days of the week together. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Well done. And then the days are broken into different parts so that we know when to wake up, when to eat, when to go to work or to school, and when to go to sleep. So to begin this week, we are firstly going to be learning about the different parts of the day. Now, long ago, when people didn't have the sophisticated clocks and phones and watches that we have today, people had to depend purely on the sun in the sky to know what time of the day it was. The time from when the sun rises to when the sun sets marks when the beginning and end of each new day is measured. There are 6 main parts of the day, and they are morning, noon, afternoon, evening, night, and midnight. Now, while you'll certainly be familiar with words like morning, evening, and night, you mightn't know what some of the others mean exactly. Or maybe you do. So do any of you know what the word noon actually means? Yes, so noon means the time that is bang in the middle of the day. Noon means it is exactly 12 o'clock midday. Afternoon, then, means the time that comes after 12 o'clock in the day, but before the evening. So, for example, you shouldn't really say good afternoon to someone unless it's actually after 12. We associate morning with waking up, getting dressed for the day and eating breakfast. And then noon comes next, and noon might be when, in school anyhow, it might be that time just before lunch. So we're probably still doing schoolwork, but we're starting to get a bit hungry. Afternoon is generally when we have lunch, on normal days anyhow, and on weekends, so perhaps 1 or 2 o'clock in the day. Evening then is when we are usually home from school, or your parents are home from work, and you do your homework or you have your dinner. Night is when you brush your teeth, put on your PJs, and go to bed. And midnight is the time which is exactly in the middle of the night, so when you should definitely be asleep. Midnight means 12 o'clock in the night. And then when the time moves after midnight, even just 1 minute after midnight, technically you're heading towards morning once again. Now we're going to look at the calendar of months and how we read it. You'll probably remember some of this from last year. So we're going to look today at the month that we're in right now, which is January 2021. So here is a picture of how January is represented on a calendar. Across the top, you'll see, underneath the word January, a row which displays the days of the week, starting with Sunday, which here is abbreviated or shortened to just Sun, S-U-N. Then we go across and we'll see Mon for Monday, Tu for Tuesday, Wed for Wednesday, Th for Thursday, Fri for Friday, and Sat for Saturday. Then going downwards in columns, you'll see all the dates of the month. And you'll notice that the 1st of January, the first day of the month, starts here on a Friday. You see how we check what day is above the date to know what day it is. So we look from the number 1, which represents the 1st, up here to the word Fri for Friday. So the 1st is on a Friday. You'll also see that the last day of the month, or the last date in the month, which is the 31st, ends here on a Sunday. So we look at the number 31, and then we look up the column to see the word or the day above it, and we see SUN for Sunday. So we know by looking at this that there are 31 days in the month of January. Now you'll notice that the squares here at the beginning are blank, that they have no dates or numbers in them. And the same applies here at the end. All of these boxes are blank. Do you know why this is? Good. The days at the beginning that are blank belong to the month before January, which is December. And the days that are blank at the end belong to the month after January, which is February. Well done. So now, how would I find out how many Sundays there were in the month of January? Well, I would go to the word sun, sun, on the calendar, and then I would look down at the column beneath it. All of the boxes that have dates in them, the blank ones don't count, remember, so all of these boxes that have numbers in them represent the Sundays in January. So there is the 3rd, which is a Sunday, the 10th, the 17th, the 24th, and the 31st. So in total, there are 5 Sundays in January. Good. Now, what if I asked you how many Wednesdays are in January? Have a look yourself and see if you can guess. Remember, only count the boxes that have dates in them. Good. There are 4 Wednesdays in January. The 6th, the 13th, the 20th, and the 27th. Now, how many Fridays are there? Try it on your own first. Good. There are 5 Fridays. The 1st, the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th. So 5 altogether. Now you'll notice that on this calendar there are some activities marked, which indicates that this calendar must belong to someone because they've marked the days that they have activities so that they don't forget to go to them. Can you tell me, by looking at this month, what day does this person have singing lessons on every week? Now remember, I am asking you the day of the week, not the dates. So the days are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on, and the dates are the numbers in the months, like the 1st, 2nd, 3rd. So I'm asking you, what day does this person have singing lessons on? Well done. They have singing on a Tuesday, because in this column you can look to see that these dates are on Tuesdays. What day of the week do they have swimming? Well done. On Fridays. Now, what date of the month is this person hoping to go to the cinema? So date, so that's a number. What date? Well done. Yes, they're hoping to go to the cinema on the 27th of January, although I don't think that'll be happening with lockdown. And the 27th is on a Wednesday. Now, each row here represents a whole week. So, if I was to say, what date is a week later than January 8th? Well, then you would go from January 8th, which is a Friday here, you would go to the row below, because that shows 7 days have passed. And so a week after the 8th would be the 15th, which is the Friday just after it. Good. Now, if I was to say today is the 18th, let's just imagine, and I said, okay, today is the 18th and I'll meet you for a walk in 1 week's time. What date would I be meeting you for a walk? Good. The 25th, because by looking at the week below the 18th, we see that the 25th is the next Monday after the 18th. So it's 7 days later, it's 1 whole week later. Now if I said, pretend today's date is the 6th of January, and I said, okay, I'll meet you for a socially distanced coffee in 2 weeks' time. What date would I be meeting you on? So we look at the 6th, which is a Wednesday, and we have to jump now 2 weeks below to see what date is in 2 weeks' time. And that would be the 20th of January. Good job. So that's our lesson for this week. See if you can find a calendar in your house so you can see how calendars are structured and get your family to ask you questions. I bet you'll do really well now. See you next week, guys, when we start to learn about the clock.